I know of some Christian communities where children are not allowed to read the Song of Songs until they are old enough for it. It is the adult, sexy part of the Bible, and not to be read by impressionable young minds. And the people who make such rules are not wrong. The Song of Songs, or often it's called the Song of Solomon, is sensual, full of passages like the one we read today, dripping with images of fertility, love, lust. It tells the story of young lovers chasing after one another, leaving family and community to meet one another in a garden and rejoice in each other's beauty. When people hear parts of this text, even divinity school students, they often blush and ask, "Is that really in the Bible?" Perhaps because it is so sensual, the makers of the Common Lectionary, those inscrutable councils who decide which text we and thousands of other churches around the world read each Sunday, put only one passage from the Song of Songs in our lectionary, in our 3-year lectionary cycle. We've heard it read by Sylvia today, and now, like some sort of biblical comet, we must wait 3 years to hear it again. No other part of the text is read out loud as part of our lectionary cycle. The church, like those modern-day would-be censors who take this text away from children, has long been uncomfortable with the sensuality found in the Song of Songs. As early as Origen and as recent as Calvin, church theologians have fallen over themselves to explain that the lusty language we encounter here is allegory. It is God and Israel. It is God and the church. This is not about human love or human desire. It's something that seems, at least, much more tame. Simply the love of God. Emboldened by this move, generations of Christian educators and youth group leaders have hustled themselves into this too-hot text like concerned parent chaperones at a high school dance, admonishing their youth group students to remember to leave enough room for Jesus, quenching the fire and the lust on the page for piety. The exclamations of love and desire in the text, they explain, aren't about human love, but simply God's love for us. And so the text has been intellectualized and its raw sensuality traded in for theology. Perhaps the text seemed, when you were reading it, raunchy or exciting, but that was simply because you weren't reading it correctly. My father has a friend who used to be a religious sister. And when she spoke of her time as a nun, she said, "It's true. I used to be married to Jesus. When I was a young woman, he seemed like the man of my dreams. But he never took me anywhere. So eventually I thought it would be better if I left." There is a long tradition in our Anglican, Unitarian, and congregational history towards the intellectual, a rush towards the rational. We tend to look askance at our Christian neighbors who spend their Sunday mornings swaying vigorously to the sounds of an amplified electric guitar, preferring intellectual discourse and the reverent tones of our historic organ. And to be sure, there is nothing wrong with this heritage or this way of worshiping. But here, before us today, are passages that pose a challenge to our often buttoned up, intellectual heritage. Passages that overflow with steamy, erotic, blush-worthy imagery. Here is a woman, for 70% of the Song of Songs is written in a woman's voice. Here is a woman who has encountered a love that makes her run from her room, break her community's morals, risk beatings and shame, to join in her lover's embrace. No buttoned-up ideas here, but pure emotion, fiery passion. I think, in fact, that the church fathers have it right. Perhaps this whole text is allegory, not only about human desire, but, as tradition says, about God's relationship to us. But this move is, I think, a much more radical one than we often start to realize. It is not a move that takes the heat out of the text, but one that puts the heat in front of us, makes it personal. For if this lusty, sensual text represents God's relationship with us, we are in for quite a ride. This is a God who takes us places, not the God that my father's friend encountered in her convent, but one much more exciting. This God holds us up to the beauty of the world, the beauty of our bodies. This God rejoices over us like a young lover, rationality thrown to the wind. Perhaps God's love can be experienced like this, hot and overwhelming, a call to arise, as the text says. Arise, my fair one, and come away, inviting us out of our comfort zone to chase after a passionate embrace. Many people in this room, I will wager, have had a moment with the divine that overwhelmed you. A moment of moreness that cannot be fully explained. A moment where God or something holds you like a lover, comforting and thrilling. A moment more similar to being young and in love than perhaps we would like to admit. We don't talk about these moments often, not in polite conversation, not even in church. And that is fine. We are New Englanders, after all. It is our right and our heritage to keep our private moments to ourselves. However, if God is like a lover, then these experiences that we can't explain, this pull, is perhaps worth more than hours of debating or years spent studying the texts. Perhaps all the scrutiny and intellect we can muster, which in this congregation is quite a lot, will never quite do God justice. For God, the God we encounter in the Song of Songs, wants to pull us into relationship, wants to sing with us and talk with us, wants to feast with us, wants to take us on an adventure to bring us out of our rationalization and into experience, outside the bounds of language and beyond all of our explanations. The philosopher Kierkegaard once theorized that a true person of faith would take pleasure and take part in everything, and would seem just like an everyday person, yet much more so. For he would be fully engaged, fully in love with the world. He would go through reality like one in a romance, throwing himself into everything, holding nothing back. Like the young lover in the Song of Songs who runs from her house, exclaiming after her beloved, whose beautiful sentences sometimes strain the bounds of grammatical sense in their haste, who revels for lines and lines about the beauty of her surroundings, the perfection of her lover. The invitation before us, the invitation of the Song of Songs, is to view our relationship with God as that of a great romance, to cease our careful pacing, our intellectual analysis, and to instead run after God, limbs flailing, mouths agape, immersed in the beauty of the world that God created. It is to allow ourselves to be caught up in thanksgiving, to enjoy God's love like an abundant feast, to sing lustily and smile freely, and allow God to be a source of constant happiness for us, like a teenager smiling to themselves over a secret crush. Perhaps one meaning of what it can be to be Christian is to be in a crazy, heady love affair, the love affair of our lives, the love affair of the Song of Songs, which exclaims to us, "Arise, my fair one, the time of singing has come." The love affair described for us today by Matthew, a love that cares not so much what we do, but how we do it. A love here to change our hearts, flush our cheeks, and brighten our worlds. May it be so. Amen.